What's happening, fellas? We are here to give the people what they want, and according to the YouTube comments, what they want is us to keep doing more overlay kind of breakdowns for both basketball and baseball today.
Yeah, let's get it, man. I'm hyped for overlay. Yesterday was weird. Like I wasn't close to the money, but I had a multiple off the boards.
Yeah, the baseball one got really messed up during the day because a lot of the guys in the weird kind of daytime lineups didn't work out. NBA, the Brook Lopez, Tyler Hero getting the exact same number of points messed with a lot of people because it was one of the more popular picks on the board. I know I had it as my number one overall play, which kind of killed my tie-breaking points, which kept me out of the money personally.
Sucks. Sorry.
It happens. I mean, that's kind of what it is within the NBA playoffs on this slate is you're going to have a lot of really close ones.
Yeah.
And it's a little bit more predictable than normal. So you get a lot of nice records and both up the top, but you just got to get those tie-breaking points right. Mm-hmm. All right, so we got a three-wayer up top where you can only pick one of them. It's Jamal Murray, Jason Tatum, Jokic. My top play here is Jokic over Murray.
Yeah, same. We talked about this on multiple videos today, it seems like. Give me Jokic over Murray all day.
Yeah, I like Tatum-ish. I like Murray as a player, but I liked him when they was in that desperation, like he's got to do everything mold. I don't think you see that. Plus, they have multiple defenders. Bev's going to play today more than likely. Paul George, Marcus Morris, they're going to make life tough on him. They just got done playing a guy like Luka who can kind of take it over from the guard position. They're all amped up to play against him. Jokic, on the other hand, we know what to expect.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Paul George or Siakam? Give me Siakam.
Siakam.
Van Vliet or Lowry? This is like my last one to pick because I view them almost exactly the same today.
I view them very similarly, but I like Van Vliet slightly more.
I like Lowry slightly more. This is like my last place one to pick, though.
I get it.
So I think this is as coin flippy as they come. All right, Kemba versus Jaylen Brown. Brown had a monster first quarter the other day. Had an absolute crazy stat line with his blocks and steals in the first quarter, which really sent him up there. Walker was a little bit off. I will almost always pick Kemba, though, over Jaylen Brown, so I'm going to stick with that personally.
I'm going to stick with Kemba, too, but I don't love it.
Yeah, it's not one that, like, it's at the top of my confidence rankings by no stretch. Okay. Marcus Smart versus Lou Williams. We talked about this one for a while on DK, and from the essence that Lou Williams, you almost need the game to be close to really, really like him. So if you think this game is close, I think Lou Will's the choice. If you think it's not super tight down the stretch and that one of these two teams kind of has a solid lead on it, then you should pick Marcus Smart. I think I'm going to pick Marcus Smart, though.
I'm going to pick Lou.
Okay. I thought you might. And
right.
No. I want to pick Smart. It's not going to be way up there because I don't like picking against Lemon Pepper Lou, but interesting one. All right, next one up. Give me Ibaka.
Yeah, we talked about Thies a lot today. Give me Ibaka also, man. I'm liking this slate as we're going along. I like Ibaka over Thies quite a bit.
Ibaka, again, I know Thies has been chalk and popular, but part of that's been the power forward eligibility and everything like that. Ibaka is in the zone right now. This guy needs to play more minutes for Toronto.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Marcus Morris Sr. versus Michael Porter Jr. Marcus Morris Sr. I just trust his minutes way more.
Same.
OG over Jeremy Grant. OG.
Give me Grant. I'm just not buying what Anunoby's selling, personally.
Okay, is there anything specifically about that?
I also think, yeah, I'll touch on that, but I also think that everyone will choose Anunoby here. Yeah, I mean, we've seen Anunoby for years now, not multiple years, but for a couple of years now. We know who he is. He's on a nice streak right now, but that doesn't mean that it's going to continue every game.
Yeah, he was the master. What I like about OG is he does multiple things. He's a very boring play. Like, this is just not a guy that's ever going to win you GPPs. I just trust his floor a little bit more than Grant's personally.
I don't disagree with you, and I'll say that I think a lot more people will pick Anunoby, which I'm sure you would agree with, and for good reason. But also, like, what you'd agree with me is it's a question for a reason. You know what I mean? It's not like tomorrow, if Grant outscores Anunoby by 5 points, you're not going to be like, oh, my God, I can't believe that.
No, I mean, both of these guys
don't
take a lot of 2-point shots, right? So they need their 3-pointers to come in. Grant had 4 2 games ago. OG had 4 last game, but that can switch at any point.
They're similar players.
All right. I'll take Zubac versus Harrell. Give me Zubac. I was dead wrong on Harrell the other day. He's clearly not back up and running to full. They trust Zubac more right now for good reason.
I feel like this is a trap, but I like Zubac more.
All right, Powell versus Gasol. Give me Gasol. I think you're going to see short rotations today, and I just trust Gasol to have more minutes than Powell.
I'm with you.
Don't love it, though, because I don't really love either guy today. All right, Gary Harris versus Monty Morris. Morris was a big help on DK the other day. Thought he'd have a bigger role as they forced the ball to Jamal Murray's hands. So he's on my good side right now. Harris has not shot it well, but that's going to turn eventually. So I'm gonna roll with Harris today.
I'm going to roll Harris, too, for sure. I like this one quite a bit.
Okay. Reggie Jackson versus Landry Shamet. Knowing that Beverly's playing, it kind of hurts both of these guys a little bit.
It really hurts both these guys. I won't pick it because of that.
Yeah, but there's only so many on here. You might.
Yeah, I will not pick this one. I know there's only so many, but this is one I will not pick.
Okay. Would you rather pick Van Vliet over Lowry than pick this one? Okay.
Yes.
Well, I mean,
I think there's equal logic. You know, that one, Van Vliet and Lowry, we like both those guys a lot. This one, I don't feel comfortable choosing either of these guys, is what it really comes down to.
I could picture either of these guys with under 8 minutes of playing time.
Or both of them.
Or they both play 20.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see what they do. You know, assuming Beverly's starting today, which it sounds like he's available. I assume he'll start if he's available. If one of these dudes is starting, though, which we probably won't know until later, which makes it kind of a moot point, I would like that person.
For sure.
All right, and this kind of goes the same thing with here. Wanamaker's playing some backup minutes, but Beverly, I expect to be in the starting lineup today. Give me Beverly.
This is like, give me Beverly, but I certainly don't feel great about it.
Yeah, no, I don't either. It's hard to feel great about these ones at the bottom. All right, Robert Williams versus Torrey Craig. Craig actually had a decent game last game. Williams has played well in this series. Don't forget, you lose points for missed shots here, and Robert Williams doesn't miss shots because he only dunks. So I'm going to take Robert Williams.
Same.
All right, Plumlee versus JaMychal Green. Plumlee.
I actually like this one.
Yeah, I'll pick this one. A couple of these bottom tier ones are fun to pick sometimes, but definitely give me Plumlee.
I will say, though, like from your question from before, you have to pick all of them, even in your alternates. You have, because the first three you can only choose once. So ultimately, as my last alternate, I chose Reggie Jackson.
It is what it is, guys. I'm not entering this one, but just trying to get a general idea. And you're right. Like, you legitimately have to pick every single one. So you're at it. It'll be your last alternate, though.
Yep.
All right, man. Let's talk about MLB now.
Let's do it.
All right. Biggio taking on Martin Perez today, or Devers against
Walker.
Walker, thank you. I kept wanting to say Shoemaker, and but also knowing that's not him. Woof. Lefty. Any strong thoughts on this one?
Yeah, Devers for sure for me. Platoon advantage, and he's just a better hitter.
All right, I'm with you on this one. Grichuk versus Chavez. Grichuk, easy.
Yep.
That's one I like. That'll be near the top for me. All right, Teoscar versus Vlad.
I'm going to go Vlad, but I don't love it.
Yeah, and I'm going to go Teoscar and follow it up with saying the same thing you said. I really don't love it. Both guys very capable of going yard. I'll just ride simply the fact that Teoscar's having a slightly better year.
Yeah, I'm with it.
So I don't love it in the slightest, though. I do love this one. I'm just going to go down two right away and say, like, Verdugo over Christian Vasquez. That's like one of my top ones, if not the top one on the board.
I love that call.
It's so obvious. I mean, I know you agree with me on this one, too. It's so obvious that it jumps off the page, in my opinion.
There's another one for me that's not quite as obvious as that one, but that I also like a lot. Two down from that one. Give me Jackie. What?
I know you were going to say that one because you've said before, you'll take anybody in the world over Peraza.
And Bradley has actually been decent recently. So, yeah, give me those two, Verdugo and Bradley for sure. And quite frankly, I don't think Tellez makes the lineup, so we don't need to talk too much on that one. I'm not sure Shaw makes the lineup. I mean, if he does, it's Gurriel for me, platoon advantage, etc.
Easy peasy lemon squeezy. All right. JD Martinez versus Xander Bogaerts taking on see if we got any experience here to speak of.
I think JD's got a little bit. And he looks in good form right now, too. So I'm going to go him. I don't love it, though.
I'm pretty sure everything you said was correct. And I was with you. JD is 4 of 8 off of Taijuan Walker, whereas Bogaerts has 2 at-bats, struck out once and walked once. That's enough that I will go with JD on what's normally considered an average matchup.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, Tim Anderson versus Duffy, Whit Merrifield versus Cease. Let's also check out this right here. So Whit, 1 of 7. Tim Anderson, 12 of 35. I mean, these guys are pretty similar DFS players.
So everyone's going to choose Anderson here, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I like Whit. I like Kansas City's offense today, so I'm going to stick with that. I also like Chicago and Anderson here, too. But Duffy's been good this year. I mean, and I like Kansas City more than Chicago tonight, so I'm going to ride that, and I'm going to go Whit.
I think I would pick Anderson if it was just guessing who was going to do better. But this is one where I'm with you in the essence that I think more people would pick Tim Anderson by a decent amount. Mm-hmm. And going the contrarian method right here, if you're just trying to reach the top 10%, like I think in this spot right here, Anderson outscores Merrifield like 57% of the time, but we'll get like 80% of the buyers. So it's a great opportunity to make that pivot.
Yes, great way of putting it.
So Abreu versus Moncada, Abreu.
Both guys I like, but give me Abreu.
Yeah, he's having a nice year. We like him against the Yankees.
This White Sox lineup, these 4 guys right here are good.
Yeah, I mean, you were high on them in the preseason. I mean, you weren't alone right there, but you were definitely high on them, and they are turning out to just be more and more explosive.
Yeah, I don't think they have like enough pitching to really go far, but they're definitely a playoff team, in this expanded playoffs, and their lineup is right up there as one of the better ones in baseball right now.
Sure, but if they could find a way into the playoffs, like I trust Dallas Keuchel. While he's not a flashy DFS guy, he's a Cy Young Award winner. He's pitching well, and if you could get Giolito on one of those hot streaks,
that's the guy I don't trust. I
don't trust him either.
But when you trust Keuchel, like he's still, if he pitches in the playoffs, he's not going to get rolled, but he's going to go like 7 innings and give up 5 hits and 2 or 3 runs.
Yeah, I like the cut of his jib. He's got some playoff experience, but he's not Max Scherzer, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. When you can't strike guys out, it just leaves so much room for variance. And I'm surprised that they kind of didn't make a move for an ace type. I know they were talking about Clevenger big time, though, which would have been crazy. But they're on the right path, that's for sure.
And maybe they're not willing to just sell it all off right now.
Yeah.
Maybe they don't think this is their year. Maybe that can be the smart long play on this one.
They often say, like, sometimes the best deal is the deal you don't make. Like, San Diego's put a lot of chips on the table for this year. Now, on the flip side of that, they didn't deal any like their top prospects, so I like what they did too. But
look at the Patriots just cutting Sanu. You moved a 2nd-round pick for like 23 catches for an A's receiver.
Yeah, I mean, that's an awful move, not a non-Patriots like move.
Yeah, it's not often that they get bamboozled, but they were in this situation.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Jimenez versus Robert. These two, you just said it. These 2 guys are studs. I don't want to pick this one because it's a horse apiece.
I was reading an article this morning about the awards in baseball so far, and Bieber is like definitely the AL Cy Young, and the NL MVP we talked about. It's like Tatis or Betts right now. The AL MVP was like wide open, and there were legit cases made for Robert because he's having an amazing year. His defense apparently is amazing. Jimenez in the same boat though is also really good. I don't want to choose between these 2, but if I had to, I'd pick Robert.
And we know the best player is Mike Trout, but how do you vote for a guy on the team with, if not the worst, one of the worst records in baseball?
He's at his slash line this year though, like isn't even that great. He's got really good power numbers, and he's not having a bad year. Don't get me wrong, but there are guys having better years so far. And listen, I've said this a lot that it's a small sample size, and I'm not saying these guys are better than Trout, but for an MVP just for this year, it's not Trout.
And the team that's playing so well, Tampa, doesn't have an MVP candidate.
No, they don't. I mean, I guess Brandon Lowe, but no.
Yeah, he is having a nice year.
He's having a nice year, but yeah, he's probably a top 5 MVP candidate.
Now you just got me one. We're going to go off tangent here for about 2 minutes. I just want to look at the AL stats real quickly because now I hadn't thought about it that closely until you just brought it up. Man.
Oh, the NL Cy Young, the leader in the clubhouse was Max Fried.
All right.
Honestly, you know, a guy, Franmil Reyes is probably up in that MVP discussion.
Yeah, because it's tough to pick anybody from the White Sox because Tim Anderson's also having a great year, and so is Jose Abreu. How do you pick one guy? I don't even know who the best guy on their team is.
Yeah, it definitely wouldn't be Robert. I'm just saying that he's having like a really good year. How about Santander?
I mean, he's having a great year, but it's hard to pick for him as well. This is tough. Yeah, there is nobody that stands out. The more you talk, the more I keep thinking this one over because, like,
two things really surprised me, though. Actually, three things. I just mentioned about Trout. He's still like the leader in home runs and RBIs. So take with that what you will. I'm surprised that Francisco Lindor is fifth in the AL in hits, like, because he's not having a good year. So that speaks to just how good he is. And then lastly, the fact that Franmil Reyes is like top 3 in the AL in hits is remarkable because that is like not who he is.
No, it's not. Verdugo, but Boston sucks. Fletcher, Rendon, Brandon Lowe. He's right up there in a bunch of the statistical categories, doubles included. That's a tough one. Wide open as they come. We got off subject for a little bit. I think that's what the point was. Between Robert and Jimenez, I don't have a solid choice here.
Same.
All right. Dozier versus Soler.
Soler will probably be out today because he got hurt yesterday late.
All right. O'Hearn versus Macal Franco. Franco.
Yeah, Franco for sure.
Gordon for sure over Lopez as well.
Yep, I love that one.
Lopez is down there in Jose Peraza territory of a guy I never want to pick.
He's awful.
All right. Adalberto Mondesi versus Danny Jansen. Wow. You want to talk about come crashing down to earth, how bad Mondesi's season is. He's being matched up with Danny Jansen.
Yeah, and I'm thinking about Jansen here, but I'll go Mondesi, but I don't feel good about it.
So he can get hit by a pitch and steal a base.
Yeah, exactly.
He just needs to get on base to run.
Yep.
All right, LeCastro versus Carson Kelly. LeCastro leading off today?
Yes.
Okay, give me LeCastro.
Against Kershaw, you don't love either. I'm going to go Kelly in the hopes that he just walks into one in a solo home run.
There you go. Plus, it's another one. Knowing that he's leading off, don't you think everybody goes LeCastro?
Yes.
Okay.
And LeCastro's not good.
No. I mean, neither of these guys are great hitters, but if you can give me that kind of discrepancy and all I need is like a walk to like get ahead, like I love that idea.
Yeah, well, that's the point. It's not that Kelly is good. It's just that LeCastro, he's going to get a ton of the picks here leading off, and he should never be that much more popular over basically anyone.
Yeah, so, I mean, again, if you're kind of new to the website, like, there's two ways to get paid right here. To go 12-0 to get the jackpot, and, like, let's just call it what it is. It's very difficult to do, especially on the baseball slates. But if you just want to get in the top 10% and beat people, if you can pick one or two contrarian plays and pick against the masses, like, it's a great opportunity to get a full victory up on people.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to go contrarian on everything, but pick and choose a spot here and there.
Yep.
All right, Christian Walker versus Escobar.
Give me Walker.
It sucks picking against 6 of 13 with 4 homers off of Kershaw. Yeah.
He's having a much better year than Escobar. Like, Escobar's having a shitty year. All those guys are. Walker's having the best year of all of them.
All right, here's another easy one. Give me Cody Bellinger over Marte. Much easier matchup. I don't know if Bellinger's in the lineup today, but one of the beautiful things about Overlay is if he's not, they just remove it.
Why is he not going to be in the lineup?
He's day-to-day. He missed yesterday.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, yeah.
Okay. Here's a tough one. Seager versus Muncy.
Seager is having a better year.
Okay, I'm with you on that one. They both have a little pop in the bat. Muncy might have a tinge more pop, but Seager's the better overall hitter.
Yeah, Seager's really reserved himself. What's the word I'm looking for? Like, reestablished himself. And like,
good player.
Yeah, he's good. Like, you know, I'd rather have Seager than Carlos Correa, for instance.
Yeah, I mean, 3 years ago, it was Seager, Correa, and like Lindor and Baez as like these up and coming shortstops, and like Seager fell off because of an extended injury. But I'm with you. I would take him over Carlos Correa as well.
Yeah, and I'll say, man, Baez has fallen off a little bit.
Yeah, homered last night, but he's having a rough season.
Yeah, he just swings and misses too much.
He does plenty of that, doesn't he?
Yep.
Very good at swinging and missing. All right, Pollock versus Taylor. Pollock.
I'll take Pollock also.
Calhoun versus Ahmed. I like the lefty platoon for Ahmed.
Definitely Ahmed, who's good against lefties. Calhoun, no thanks.
4 of 26 off of Kershaw is not great. Calhoun's 2 of 15 with 9 strikeouts, also not great. Like, I hate picking this one because ultimately I expect almost no points out of either guy.
Yep.
All right, Kiki Hernandez versus Will Smith. Would Hernandez even be in the lineup today?
I guess all that's the trickle-down effect of, like, Bellinger and stuff, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I don't expect him to be in the lineup. I could be wrong, especially if Bellinger's out. So, I don't know. We'll have to watch that one. I'd have to see the batting order. I probably will not try to pick this one.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Okay. All right, guys. The name of the website is overlaydfs.com. We got NFL video already out at your disposal. Here's baseball and basketball for today. We will continue to talk about them pretty much every single day that they're out there. I got a link to their Twitter profile below. Please go follow them. You can sign up through the website that way. Get your money in on any of the 4 sports they got rolling.
Get in where you fit in.